Hi, I'm Solaris. We are filming our second season of Outrageous today, so thank you for joining us. I have a little bit of a cold, so please bear with me. And today we have an amazing guest for you. We have Rizi, and he is a female to male transgender. And I'm really excited about hearing your story today.
Thank you for having me, Solaris. It's awesome being here.
Oh, well, thank you for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey?
Well, it started when I was about 6 years old, and I knew that I wasn't the typical girl. I was growing up back there in Africa, and as you can imagine, it was difficult to not blend into societal norms. By 8 years old, I went to my dad and told him that I thought I was a boy, and he just laughed it off and said it was a phase that I would outgrow. I didn't outgrow the phase, and by the age of 12, my mom became very concerned. She's very religious, she was raised religious, and the exorcisms began at that time. There were very extensive attempts to pray the gay away or the trans away. It was very difficult, and then I got some kind of relief when I was lucky enough to go to London eventually to school. Unfortunately, with years of still not changing, my mom called one day and said, we're going to have you come back home and get in an arranged marriage and blend in. So I had somewhat of a nervous breakdown and told the school counselor. Fortunately, the school had an American campus and they helped me get a visa and I came out to LA. And so that was my journey that ended up with me being here. Free to begin being myself, which was awesome.
That is so incredible.
Yes.
And I hear that you're going back to school now to help other transgenders. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I actually went back to school. I went to USC School of Social Work. I graduated with my MSW, and since then I have founded the Happy Transgender Center, which provides therapy services to transgender youth from the ages of 10 all the way to adults up to age 60, to support them with religion-based persecution, especially for Latino and African American cultures where it's prevalent, and also to just help families deal with it when their kids come out as transgender, working to help them navigate bathroom issues in schools, and everything else from surgeries, getting them surgery letters, hooking them up with surgeons for transition and stuff like that. It's very rewarding.
That's amazing. Yes, I was hearing that your organization is helping pay for some surgeries.
Yes, it's partially the organization, and also I sing. I'm pretty artistic. I sing. I have a memoir that I wrote, and 50% of sales from album sales and 50% of book sales I use to fund surgery.
Love is all we need to heal us. Love is all we need. Believe me, love is all we need to heal us. Love is all we need to make us one.
So you moved to LA?
Yes, I eventually moved here to LA. I had a period of time with no contact from my family. It was a really dark time in my life. It really was. During that time, from the rejection and just feeling like I was unloved or like an orphan in the world, I got in with the wrong company. This happens to people a lot in the community. I became addicted to cocaine and alcohol for many years. It was just a dark time in my life. But eventually my parents also found me. We got in touch and we got into a state that I call an unspoken compromise, where we just wouldn't talk about it anymore. They weren't going to change their religious views. I wasn't going to become a heterosexual woman, and we stopped talking about it. And we stayed in that situation for a while. I was able to introduce my partner to them as my friend, and then we just would ignore it and treat it that way. And we had so many years of peace. But inside, I still knew that the 8-year-old boy wanted to come out. The man was growing inside, and I needed to transition. But the fears of the exorcism, and all that I had gone through, and just enjoying this unspoken compromise state, kept me delaying. I started to think that maybe I would wait till they pass away before I do anything like this, just to not rock the boat. But in the end, I just couldn't.
God says you're not to judge, yet all you do is judge me. Why do you hate me so? I'm just the way God made me. So much condemnation. They say it's 'cause I'm sinning, but only my sin bugs you.
So I, researched doctors. I started watching YouTube videos of other guys who had done surgeries, and I planned how to tell my partner because we were in a same-sex relationship all this time. Luckily, she was very accepting. She's now my wife, and she stayed through top surgery. It's top surgery day, and I'm not binding or anything today. I don't know if you can kind of see, these are some big breastises. They're about a 40 double D right now, and that's the side view. They're about a 40 double D right now, and we're off to Dr. Brownstein at the Davis Hospital. I've been waiting for this day so long. I feel kind of surreal, excited, and it's surreal. So in a few hours, it will be all over. This is it, all done. My drains are here. Dr. Brownstein has padded everything really good, and everything is going well. I am on Percocet, so if I look under the influence, it will be of painkillers. It's not too bad. The pain is actually localized only where the drains are. There's no pain on the chest, which is a good sign, and I'm so happy. I mean, I don't know if you can see, this is really, really, really flat, and this is with the binder in, which I have to wear for 1 more week. The side view, it's phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. I thought maybe top surgery would be enough for me, but I found that I was one of the trans men who also needed bottom surgery. And that was a huge journey on its own. The procedures, there's so many different procedures. I went with a procedure that didn't quite work out for me and required so many revisions, and I finally ended up with Dr. Crane in San Francisco, who was able to fix my procedure to an acceptable state. He was able to use the latest technology and nerves and blood vessels from my arm to give me exactly what I needed to feel whole, which was a fully functional penis that I could stand to pee, that I could feel with, that I could have an erection with, and everything else. And so transition-wise, everything went fantastic for me. And I just started to realize that other guys were not as fortunate who wanted to have the surgeries. So I started to find ways to, help them out, not only mentoring them on what procedures to do that will result in less, revisions and give you the results you need, but also in raising funds for their surgeries. And that's how I started using proceeds from my books and from my music.
I would like to introduce to you my friend, the amazing, the sexy, Xavier Rizi!
All you can do is be who you really are. Don't give a damn what anyone else thinks. Be free. Live your life. Be yourself.
Have you ever wondered if you could really love yourself? Have you ever wondered if you could truly be yourself? Have you ever wondered if
So far I've been able to fund 4 people's surgeries, and it's just been awesome, and they all go to San Francisco where Dr. Crane does a phenomenal job for them.
That's
It's
amazing.
been awesome. Yes.
Can I ask you, are complications in surgeries common?
Yes, I mean, there's complications all the time. It's probably, from a 30% complication rate to a 50% complication rate. But it's a risk that I would take all over again.
Yeah.
And I didn't as much have complications as just that I chose a different kind of procedure. Being afraid, you know, some guys are doing this in their 20s. I was doing this at 35 and knew that there were so many risks. So I went with a procedure that had stages. You know, you'd have the hysterectomy in one stage and then a vaginectomy in another, and then the penile construction itself was in like 6 stages instead of 1 or 2. Yes, all of which had extensive 3 to 6 month healing periods in between. But this was supposed to be the safest way to do it. Plus, there were no scars. The only scar was on my side, hidden. And it kind of gave me comfort, like, oh, I wouldn't have visible scars, you know. But in the end, it didn't solve my gender dysphoria because I ended up with a cosmetically appealing penis, but I couldn't stand to pee with it, and I couldn't feel anything. I would be with my wife, and I would have to say, am I in yet? And during one of those times, I just broke down like, okay, I've gone through, at this point, 21 surgeries, and I can't feel. And I thought, yeah, I need help. And luckily, I found Dr. Crane. If I had gone to Dr. Crane, he would have done all this in 2 procedures.
Wow.
So this is what I mean. So I started telling guys, you have to find the right doctor, and you have to just do this the right way.
I wanted to ask you, you went through a time period of addiction and contemplating suicide. What was it that got you through it?
You know, it just really was the love and support of the few people that were open in my family. I had a cousin called Adam. He passed in 2012, right as we were making plans, right as I started transitioning. He was the first one to support me through top surgery. He was like, you know, go for it, do this. Don't worry about anyone. I'm going to come to your wedding that year. In March, he was getting his visa to fly in from Nigeria. And unfortunately, Adam passed away in the Dana air crash of 2012 in Nigeria. And so I lost that, you know, major source of support. Oftentimes, people don't realize how much love and support is needed for our community and how far and in between those kind of support can be. But Adam accepted me. We were close since he was 7. No, since I was 7 and he was 6, we were close. He's the first person I came out to when I was a lesbian. He went partying with me in London. He'd throw his little tank top on and we'll go to the raves in the gay clubs. He just wasn't homophobic at all. He was always accepting. And so throughout until 2012, it was his support mostly, and also the love and affection of my wife, Christina, who just always loved me. She always did. She told me, you're genderless to me. So if you're a man, if you're a woman, I don't care. I love the person. I love your soul. And God bless her, she was there for every one of those 21 surgeries as well.
Wow.
Oh, yes. And it's been amazing. It's just been amazing having her love and support.
Okay, Boo Boo's back from her surgery. Are you happy?
I'm so happy.
Did it hurt?
I mean, just a little bit, not much.
Did you wake up?
No,
I know, you told me you didn't wake up at all.
I didn't wake up.
Oh, yay!
I'm so happy.
Are you in pain at all?
A little, but
A
not
little?
too bad.
Aww.
I'm so happy.
Yay!
And it's interesting because I hear you say 21 surgeries, and when you think about it, sometimes people think, oh, it's a surgery, oh, it's just a cosmetic thing, it's so easy, but it's not. There's a lot of healing that has to do with it.
Oh gosh, yes. I mean, these were extended, months and months of extended healing. I'd say to Christina before I go in, honey, I love you. I hope I wake up, but if I don't, just know I died doing what I had to do for myself, and in that I'm happy. I'm happy to die setting myself free, because if I don't do this, I'm dead already.
Yeah.
And she would hug me and kiss me. And we would be aware of that risk. You know, we had an advance directive. So it's not a joke. These are not cosmetic surgeries.
No.
These are life-altering gender transition surgeries. And each time you go under, you could lose your life. So we're fighting to live. We're fighting to be who we really are.
So I love these pictures of your wedding.
Oh yes, we had the wedding in March 2012 in Maui.
Oh,
It
wow.
was just awesome. Post-op surgery in January, and I had my first shot of testosterone 2 days before.
Wow.
So a lot was going on, lots to celebrate.
Yes. Oh, so perfect. You look so happy.
I am. I'm so blessed to have her.
If you want to be on the show, contact us and tell us your story.